If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe. Thank you very much.
That was Carl Sagan talking in the really great series Cosmos. If you haven't seen it, then I really recommend that you check it out. They've done a modern reboot of Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson, but the original series still has some really good gems in it, like the one I just showed you. So Sagan has a point. If you wanted to make an apple pie from scratch, you would need to first invent the universe. So let's just have a little tour of what might be necessary to do that. So we're going to go back 13.8 billion years to a singularity. We're going to go back to the Big Bang, and this is a time when the universe had infinite density and temperature at a finite time. We know about the Big Bang and this expected singularity because of the fact that we know the universe is now expanding, and we know that it's expanding at an accelerating rate. That's what Brian Schmidt won the Nobel Prize for in 2011, and fun fact, Brian Schmidt is now the Vice Chancellor of my university, the ANU. So let's have a look at what this Big Bang is going to look like. I've made something here on Universe Sandbox that vaguely resembles a singularity, but of course that's going to be very hard for me to show in reality. So what I've done here is I've taken an entire galaxy and I've smushed it down to one point. So all of the mass in that galaxy is confined to this very bright patch. At this point in the early birth of the universe, the temperature would have been extremely high. After the initial expansion, the universe would start to cool sufficiently to allow the formation of subatomic particles and later atoms, leading to the matter we see around us today. Elementary particles like electrons, protons, and neutrons would have decayed and combined to form matter and then cooled, forming an early soup, if you will, of our universe. This will be the sauce in our apple pie. It's what we're going to need to start with here. So all of these stars and galaxies formed through the Big Bang are eventually going to lead to the formation of us as well. And we're pretty important to be able to make this apple pie. So another pretty famous quote from Carl Sagan is this one.
The surface of the Earth is the shore of the cosmic ocean. On this shore, we've learned most of what we know. Recently, we've waded a little way out, maybe ankle deep, and the water seems inviting. Some part of our being knows this is where we came from. We long to return. And we can't, because the cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
The fact that we're made of star stuff is pretty beautiful, and I want to show you what a supernova looks like, because that is where a lot of the elements are going to be formed. Many of the more common elements are made through nuclear fusion in the cores of stars. However, not all elements are made in the cores of ordinary stars. Because nuclear fusion reactions that make elements heavier than iron require more energy than they give off, such reactions don't occur under stable conditions of nuclear reactions in typical stars. On the other hand, supernovae are not stable, so this is where a lot of the elements are made, or all of the elements that are heavier than iron. So let's have a look at the birth of some of these very heavy elements. So I'm going to show you a supernova type 1a, and in the simulation a white dwarf star is going to accrete or gain material from a nearby mass until its mass exceeds the limit, which triggers a supernova to happen. So here's the white dwarf gaining material, and it's exploding in a supernova where it's giving off the, I guess, the elements that are going to go out, and the elements that are formed here in this supernova are going to go out and form other things, whether it's planets, and maybe one of those planets is Earth. So the materials that we see all around us, the materials that we're going to need for our apple pie, some of them would come from a supernova explosion like this. Some of the atoms that make up you, or the elements that make up you, are coming from explosions just like this one. So it's a pretty incredible way to think about where we actually come from. Taking it a little bit more back down to Earth, we've come back to the solar system. So this might have been formed from a disk of material, whether it was from coalescing material from remnants of the Big Bang or elements from the core of supernova. All of that's contributed to give us what we know and love today. So let's find Earth. And this is where we're going to make our apple pie. So it's pretty dark. We're coming in and out of nighttime here, depending on our rotation. Many of you, I know, no matter where you are on the Earth, might be studying for exams right now, or be in uni, working towards something, working towards being a scientist, or someone that's curious and can go out there and make discoveries or do cool things. So there's one last Sagan quote that I wanted to finish this video with, and it relates to the idea that out there are incredible things waiting to be known. I showed you a little bit of our incredible origin and things that go into making us, but there is so much that we still don't understand, and even like what I told you now is such a small portion of what there is to learn about where we came from. So I want this to be a little bit of a good luck and keep going to all the people who are out there studying. Just keep working towards those things, keep working towards those goals of discovery, because there is so much out there waiting for you to find out.
Our own planet is only a tiny part of the vast cosmic tapestry, a starry fabric of worlds yet untold.